Hello team. So let's see how long it takes for me to basically take this Google form and some of the materials that you all have created, combine them with some of the materials that I already had, some of the screens, which is another word for the slide or the question, apparently, and put together a new Desmos activity. So the first thing you'll do is just go to teacher.desmos.com. We'll just assume that you all have already created an account, which just takes a second with Google. You'll also notice my laptop's going pretty slow. It's because Loom slows it down for some reason. So next thing we'll do is we will go into custom. So it says your activity. So an activity is like a lesson or a set of questions from your lesson. Okay, so custom. And I'll click here, new activity. Let's just call this C3P1L1. I'm going to start with the long version and then we can knock off whatever we like. So there we go. Long version or full version. And so this is a screen. This is where you create the questions. You can also import images and all of that, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. What I thought we would do is copy and paste the images we're going to want from this Google form. It'll just make it easier as we go through and add those to this. I'll do the same thing and copy and paste the images, or take a mini screenshot, I should say, of the images from the Google slides of Emmett Till that we're going to use as well. So I'll do that. It's real easy on a Mac. I'm sure that there's a very easy way to do this on a PC as well. Excuse me, my phone's ringing. The way on a Mac is Command Shift and then number 4. Now, if I were doing this to make it look really high quality, I would be doing this on another screen and I would make it bigger. I think it actually ends up being less pixelated that way, but it's really hard for me to do that and show you what I'm doing at the same time. So I just took a screenshot of that. It went into my screenshots. All right, let's say we want the agenda and goals in there too. So now this will have been saved. And now, of course, again, I guess what I'll do, I'll go back and I'll redo that, because if we want to use this, then it makes sense for me to do it right the first time. So I'll toggle back and forth between this and the Desmos page, and I'll zoom in some here. So then whatever of this that we can use, we won't have to do again. All right, so start this again. Shift Command 4. Okay, now I'm going down to agenda. We'll use that. Okay, and then I might even zoom in a little bit more here just to make sure that it's clear. Assuming we want to continue to use these. Feel free to fast forward if you don't want to see me copying and pasting all of these. Or not copying and pasting, taking screenshots. And you can see in the bottom right hand corner of my screen, those are the screenshots. Okay, we'll probably want this reading workshop. Yep. I haven't thought too much about how to do that. I know we have talked about it, but we'll see how this goes. Class discussion. Okay, listen to your teacher. Palabras claves. With Desmos, what I really like to do there is just have them type what they understand. I know it seems like a lot, but it really keeps them engaged. Oral review. Okay. Cierto. Falso. Cierto. Now, of course, the more images you take, a little bit more, it's going to be a teeny bit more painful. Okay, I'll skip this. I'll skip this one too because we will just copy and paste that. But the more images that you take screenshots of, it just becomes a little bit more cumbersome to sort through. But the nice thing is we shouldn't have to do this very frequently. Reading. Okay. These old eyes. Let's see here. I'm doing this. I really appreciate everything that you all have done and do to make this amazing. Okay, I have closing. All right. I know we talked a little bit about this, but I'm not. Okay. Jeez, it's not shrinking down. Come on, buddy. I need it to be small enough where my face isn't in the way. There we go. Okay. And of course, as you all know, you can just do the same. You could do the exact same thing. Not sure why it's not wanting to. These are different sentences. But I have to doesn't want to squeeze in there. Oh, okay. I'm not sure why it wasn't shrinking. One thing you'll see in Desmos is the images are smaller when you view them, but my students have never mentioned anything about that being a problem. Oops. All right, and that is it for the images. So let's see. Why don't I just, because we just did those, why don't I go into Desmos and I will import all of those images and add a couple of slides, a couple of screens, and then we can go back and do the Emmett Till, I forgot what it was called, but the getting to the heart of the story activity. Okay, so this is not a problem. Let's now zoom in just a teeny bit so you hopefully can see it a little bit better. All right, so this button here, this will add add a screen. For most of them, what I like to have is text input, but we'll see what we end up using. If you all want to, we can. I'll show you how you can copy and paste slides. So right here I have check-ins and other templates. So this is an idea for what on your end, if you all wanted to, you could have this. And let's say, oh, today I want to use the Como te sientes hoy, where okay, this is slightly different, but one where they can individually check how they're feeling. And then below, they draw why they feel this way. You know what? We've done that for a few days. Let's just do this one, where it says draw how you feel and write a sentence in Spanish as well. And so if you want to see what this slide looks like, which is the one I'll use because it's the most similar to the one that I saw you all had, it's just, this is the student view. When you click here to preview, I'll show you what this question will look like. You see I have a text up here with the question, then space for the students to draw here, and then space for them to type their text there, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to copy that one because I think that one's pretty good. And so all I have to do is use the old Command C, just like if you were copying and pasting anything. Go back to this slide, Command V, and there it is. Now, we can delete all of this. There's no reason to keep anything you all don't want. But well, I won't put it in here, but here's another one, a different version of that. How are you feeling today? And then I'll just add this just in case. Why not? Some people still like to talk about the weather. It's a nice thing for students to do for a minute or two. But it's ¿Qué tiempo hace? And then, so I hit Control C and now Control V there. Okay, so we've got the first couple things. Now, the header I can add here. Why don't I do it while I'm thinking of it? So the way you'll do it is go into this little button. I don't think it adds a ton, but you know, Tina might like it better that way. Which Tina has amazing ideas, and I love what Tina has created. All right, is this right? Yep, all I did is hit a space bar and that opens it up. So there we go. Now it'll be here, but it'll be kind of, it doesn't squish it down, so it looks a little bit weird. You kind of have to click through it to actually see it anyways. There may be a way to fix that, but I don't know. Right now, I don't know how. So the next thing that we're going to do, so the first, I'll look at the slide. So at the Google form, just as we go through, so I can keep it consistent. We don't have to do the period because students will be already put into their periods, into their day and block. We don't need their first name or last name because students will have already logged in and they'll already have their login information there. Norming the class, yeah, we need that. So let's go here. All I have to do is click on the plus. I'm going to want a media, so an image, and I'm also below that going to want text input. Oh, you know what? That actually isn't right. In this one, I don't need a text input. I need media, and then I need multiple choice. And so to drag that down below so that when it shows up on their screen, put it like this. It might, yeah, probably that will look better. But you can also put it to the side like it was. Now I'm going to click on choose a file to upload. I'll go to the screenshot that I believe is this one. Yep. Open. There, and now I'll just add images, which will be all of the ones that we just went through. Those basically just copying and pasting. But the cool thing, yeah, you would have whoever creates this would need to go through and do this every day. But hopefully you'll see that it doesn't really take that long. And after we get a number of these in, you can kind of you can just plug in copy and paste prior screens and prior questions that you've asked. You don't have to recreate the wheel like we were talking about. So that's it. Now I want to check it out and just make sure, if you want to check it out, make sure what it looks like for students. Click here on preview, and then this is what it looks like. Student will click on there, and then they'll go next. All right, that looks good. Next one. Remember what the next thing here was. Oh, reading workshop. Okay, so reading workshop, flex those reading muscles, reading connections. Okay, so I guess I'll put both of these images, because you don't really need a whole nother slide for this. I'll put both of these images right below each other, but maybe if we end up using this, you could just do it in Canva and make it one big image. It'd probably look nicer. And then we'll have to figure out exactly how we're going to do this. So again, media, click on it again, media, and I think that will probably look better vertically. So go here. And then another one. Okay. Now, this is where this is going to take a few minutes at first, probably, to think through exactly how you all want this to look. But, you know, we had talked about allowing teachers to add their own reading here. What you could do is just leave this here, like so, and in the teacher tips, awesome, I've never used this. In the teacher's tips, you could write something along the lines of, please find a, please find a reading from earlier in the year, and the instructions of how to copy and paste it in there. And then I don't know what shows up. Let me see. Oh, okay. And then what teachers would have to look for, and I don't know how this will work, but they have to look to see that there's a teacher tip button. See how that's green on this slide and not on this? So, yeah, we have to think through that. But so if you had teachers do their own, you could have this. You could leave this here, and then here add a text box for students to respond. Or shoot, you all were thinking about doing. We were talking about making it a little bit different this time through. Where is that? And doing the what they want or what's in their way. So why don't I copy this, what they want, what's in their way. Really, you should only have to do this once. But after that, what they value, what they want to change, and the story mountain. Okay, so Story Mountain's a piece of cake. Story Mountain, the way I would do it, if you again, do you want to create this in another Desmos location, where you've got templates? Do you want to copy and paste these here, and then you all add them in? Do you want the teachers to do it? I'm not really sure what you'll choose, but if you were to choose the Story Mountain here, teacher would add the image here, right? Then I would add another media, and I would add, we'd have to check and see how it looks, of course, but you could add an image here of that Story Mountain, for example, and here we go, Story Mountain. And since it's already labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could put a text input here. I've never added this many things, so I have no idea how it's going to look. So full disclosure here. Maybe I would have this on this side, this here. See if we can pop the other one up there. I don't know. We'll see. Then you could have students write their answers in the text box. Now, there's something that's actually really valuable, and I guess I'll show you all. It's more for advanced users of Desmos, or people who don't mind messing around just like a teeny bit with copying and pasting code. So this is how you do it. Basically, what I want in this text box is, I don't want it just to be a blank text box. I want it to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you can type the instructions here. So read the below story and complete the Story Mountain with, and of course, you're not just going to do this without having trained your students, and that's the beauty, what I love about having really 3 different things that teachers either choose from or are given, and they always do those same 3, because then after a couple times the students are going to get it. It's going to be fine. So you all can edit whatever you want that text to say, but let me just check it out and see. I'm trying to think what the best way to do this is. I'm going to just randomly go grab a reading from here to see. So I guess I have to go to just grab any random reading to see what it actually looks like once we import it there. Now, again, you all may decide that you want to always have one option there. And then if teachers want to change it, they change it. You may decide that you want to leave it like this without putting any image in there. I'd be glad to chat more about that, but I don't really. You all are the experts, obviously. It's tough. So I'll just choose this reading, and I'm just going to do another screenshot. Hola, mi amor. ¿Qué haces? Okay, look, I'm sorry, just 1 second. Okay, so I've copied and pasted this. Excuse me, I apologize. And I'm going to just pop it in here. And so if you all want to change this afterwards, it's super easy to change. All you have to do is click on this, click on delete component, and then just click over here and add media, and then drag it over. So I don't know what this is going to look like. Let's see. Yeah, that might be okay. But this also may be a little bit small. And then again, I still have to show you how to put the text here. So I think probably what I would do, it's gonna seem a little clunky, but again, if you all work your Canva magic, I'm sure it'll look much better than this. And just play around with it, because I am no expert. Yeah, that looks better. Maybe even the students might get a little confused. I don't know where would be best to have this, here, or maybe just next to it. Can I move it down here next to it? Interesting. No. Okay, looks like you can't do that, but maybe even before the text. All right, well, you get the idea. Again, you could go and add the other components that are here. I think we would just have to think through how exactly you want this to look, for example. I mean, you could easily put that screenshot. I'll just create another one so you all can see, and I'll kind of create it with you. But let me go back here and show you how to put in the text so that it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so students don't have to manually enter 1, which is sometimes too hard. Anything we can do to simplify it for them is, in my opinion, well worth the time. So, on our end, I should say. Shoot, that is the one I wanted. So this is just an activity that I had used before. I'm going to go here. This is one that I created, I should say. And I'm just going to edit this activity. That's what you always have to do before you do anything. Also, it's super important and something that I need to remember to remind people that once you have assigned an activity to a class, you can make changes to the activities, but it won't automatically go to the classes you've already assigned it to. So you just have to unassign it to whichever classes you had assigned it to before, and then just reassign it. It takes a second, but I thought I would let you know. All right, here we go. So you can see that little green part is highlighted. That just means there's a script there, and it's incredibly simple. It says initial text, : and then whatever you want to go there as the text. So, I'll put this in the teacher notes, but of the activity that we're creating. Interesting. Okay, so I'll just put it right here. That's just the copy and paste the below code. Now, this would mean nothing to anyone but us right now. All right, so the way you do it is click in here. I just did Control V. So instead of having persona uno, you could just say numero uno, numero dos, numero tres, numero cuatro, because we had 5 on there, and then we'll just go numero cinco. Or of course you could say parte numero uno, or I don't know, el principio, something like that. So let's now see what this looks like. Oh, okay. Let's get rid of this teachers move thing. That wouldn't show for students, obviously. So, okay, that's okay. Students can read this. It's a teeny bit confusing, but I think after students, because this is here, but again, after students did it once, they would get it. So let's create another one, as I said. Not that you would have 2 of these same readings in the same place, but just to see what it could potentially look like. So again, add media. We'll do another add media. We'll have these. We'll just start with these. We'll use 1, and then I'll label this 1, 2, 3. I mean, probably what I would do, I don't actually know that this makes any sense for me to do, because I think what I would do is somehow change this graphic if we end up deciding we want to do this, to 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C, and then D, E, F, or whatever the case may be. But then they'll have the visual representation of the visual. You could keep that on the side even. Like if I end up adding a couple, let me just try adding some text boxes here. popping those over on the side, pop this one over on the side, you know, and then if you were to do what I just did a minute ago with this text, I don't really want that text. Let's go back and copy it from the last text. Okay. So instead of saying, yeah, and sorry, one other thing. If you get rid of this, you'll see there's a little caution sign there. That just means the code isn't working. And you can do other things, lots of other things, I'm sure, to mess up the code. So initial text, like we said, maybe you call it A, and then B, because you've written on the screen to the left there, C, and then do the same thing, D, E, F here. So let's just check that out and see what that looks like for a second. And then, of course, you need to, I forgot, you need to, probably what I should have done, this would make more sense because we're going to use these two headers. And we're going to use the reading. So I'm just going to Command C, Command V. Okay, and then I'm going to go in. I want to leave that. I want to get rid of this. I want to. I'll just edit that. I'm going to go back here. Can I copy? I don't know if I can actually copy things that I've already done over there aside from text. I'm going to delete that screen. Sorry about that, team. So again, we'll change this to ABC. Oh, my laptop is loud. And you can put more space between them, whatever you like. You know, if you put an enter here, then there's more space. And then we need to, I should probably just copy this. We need to add media. So I guess we'll do the media before. And this may be also appalling that visually that we need to think of something else, but you know, I'm just trying. So actually I'm not keep second guessing how I'm doing this. This one, and you would label ABC or 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be. All right. Media. And then another text below that. There's got to be a better way to do this. But I repeat that this would not be a big deal because you would be able to save these activities on another like template one where maybe you have one that has you have the reading activities and you know, the warm-up activities, the slides that always stay the same, and you just go back and forth to that when you're copying and pasting. Okay, I'm just gonna I already copied that actually. Go down here into the text. I'm just gonna leave it ABC since we're gonna have to change that. Just change it for you all. B, E. Okay, now let's check out and see what this looks like. Yeah, so you would obviously need to change the size of that. That may be, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I'm sure that could obviously be figured out, what they want, and then they could write it here. So that's the idea. I'm not going to go through and do the third one. I don't know how you all are going to do this, so I don't really want to waste your time going through it or spend too much more time doing that. So let's keep going. The next thing, I'm going to go back to the Google form, and the next thing would be the class discussion. So this is going to be the bulk of it. The class, I will come back to this because I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but we'll figure it out. I have an idea though. Okay, so Class discussion, if you want to, you could add class discussion. And I would probably, class discussion and palabras claves. My own opinion is that this works much better if you break it down into a few different chunks. So, I'm trying to think, because we're going to be, you all are going to be going through, maybe in this case it would be best just to keep it as one place where they write down. I know that you all have them write the keywords, but as I said earlier, I found it to be incredibly powerful for students to summarize what they understand in English or Spanish, depending on their level. Again, your decision. Let me just go back here and just make sure that I had deselected. Okay, good. You see how it says show students or classmates' responses? You always want to unselect that. Or I always unselect that. Okay. I am now going to go in and grab those couple of shared reading is what we wanted. No, that's not what we wanted. This is the problem with doing so many. Okay. And then I'll just add a text input here. And up here you can write the instructions. So, you all normally we have this. So you can, when delivering the lesson, lock students into this question and the subsequent questions, which will be all the questions about the heart of the story. I'm changing my mind again, team. Sorry. Why don't we do that now? Because that's the flow of what we're doing anyways. So this is my thought. In terms of doing this, there are 11 different images. The easiest way that I can imagine doing this with Desmos is, the easiest way would be to label each of these a different letter, number, or symbol. That would be the easiest, and that's what I guess because that would probably be the easiest. That's what I'll assume that we're going to do, but no need to do it that way. That's just what, as I do this, I will be assuming that. So the way that we would do this is, maybe you use this beautiful image, which you all, I thought that Tina was doing all of this, these creative images, and so cool, Elena, that you're doing it. All right, so we'll use that image and we'll use this image for all of them if we want to. And what I thought we could do is create a multiple choice question. So super simple. Now, depending on how much input you want, you could have, and this would actually probably be pretty cool, you could have a sentence describing each of those, or you could say A and then the sentence describing it, or you could not. Just say A, B. Since I don't know if we're going to do this, I'm just going to go C, D, E, F, G, H. All I'm doing is hitting enter, which I just wrote I, J, and then enter. K, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Okay, perfect. So now we've got all the options. So I'm assuming that here you have number one, A, B. Okay, so they have to choose between A and B. And as a teacher, you just say, we can add this into the teacher notes, or honestly, I hadn't thought of this. The best way that I found to figure out how to wrap our heads around teaching this way is to watch videos. So it would probably be incredibly valuable if you all could find somebody to record themselves talking through how they would deliver the lesson, and deliver it, maybe fake deliver them. That's gonna be the easiest way. But anyways, that's total aside. I know I won't have time to do that. But anyway, so we've got A, B, right? And then here, this one would be labeled C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. I just counted ahead and knew that there were a lot. So if we assume that, and we assume each one is labeled, then all a teacher has to do here is, when they're describing A and B, they tell their students choose between A and B. And then you just simply copy however many rounds there would be. And you can, well, I can look. So there's round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. And then it sounds like there's going to be a whole nother round, right, of them narrowing it down from there, which is great, which is cool. I mean, all a teacher would have to do is hit Control-C, go to the bottom, and then paste that slide again, of course, and they could have them all in order, and it would already have the letter on them already have the letter on it for the teacher. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 5 slides here, but you would want to add more of these. And after a student fills it out, so what they see is this. And they just click on this, and then after students fill it out, you immediately get feedback on what the students thought. So it's a real quick poll. Great, that was much easier than I actually anticipated, that part. So next part, what we need to do is go back and see what's in the Google form. So we've done this. Okay, now we're doing the oral review, the true, truths, and a lie. I like to switch this up some too, maybe sometimes 2 lies and a truth, and write down whichever. But anyways, this is my go-to. It's the one that I use constantly with my students. So much so that, let me just make sure. Oh, I don't have in my slides, I don't have the oral review thing, so I'll just create a new slide. I was going to say, I can just grab it from, oops, do not need a graph. I was going to say I could grab it from the slides that I've already created. So we're going to have, I think, 4 of these images. And the first one, oral review. The next one. Oh, this is cierto falso. I almost always use the 2 truths and a lie. For the umpteenth time, what I would consider doing would be, actually, sorry team, I need to make that one into a multiple choice question so we can see the answers. What I would consider doing is copying Command C, Command V, pop it over into your templates or whatever you want to call that, and just have it saved. And then you never have to go back and do the cierto falso again. So this is going to be similar to what we did for that, what we did with the agenda part. There we go. The level. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's just check it out and see what it looks like. Yep, so here it is, oral review, cierto o falso. They click on it, you say whatever it is. You can have them explain their thinking. I'm pretty sure you could probably even make it so that it says something else in, I'm not sure. Probably there's a way to do this differently where you, definitely don't want students to be able to see each other's responses on this, or most likely. And you could or you don't have to say explain your answer. So I'll just leave it checked. And then copy this. I think there were 3 in there, so paste, paste. That's done. Now let's go to shared writing. Shared writing. So I'm gonna need this, and I'll need this, and I'll just put those both on the same page. So 2 medias and a input text for students cannot each other's responses. I'm tired. I stayed up too late last night starting that Desmos page, Facebook page. There we go. Now let's go here and well, let's just copy and paste the instructions that we have here. And now, of course, put whatever you like. What I have been doing here is I've switched it up, and I'll say copy the second and fifth sentences, or copy the whole thing. Honestly, with Desmos, my students, especially my classes that are writing more and more in Spanish, it feels a little bit redundant because they've already shown me they understand everything that we're covering, and but anyways, so you can do with this what you like. Now go to the shared reading, and here I'm going to add the medias again and the text input. You know, why don't I, while I'm thinking of it, if you want to add a sketch, you know, you ever want the kids to draw, you just click on this button, sketch. The other thing that you all might use at some point is this card sort. You can check out, I posted, Nissa has a Google Doc with a number of, or a Google form that allows you to submit your Desmos activities, and I submitted a couple. La Estrategia has card sorts in there that I really like. The other one, you could have them order the list. I've never tried that. Never done that with students. Check boxes, so if you want them to be able to select more than one correct answer. And then those are the ones that I use. I don't really know what button is. And I know what a table is, but I'm not sure how I would use it. Actually, there are probably lots of ways you could. Anyhow, so we are now going to add the shared reading. Shared reading, and then we'll do Yonoteke. Copy this. There. I'm just doing Command C, Command V. Closing, and then we'll do these couple. Great. And we could either do them in the same or different. I'll probably just do them in 2 different slides, but it's easy enough to change. Closing. Media, and you know, since I know I'm going to be doing this, well, actually I'll wait to copy and paste it until I've uploaded this first screen, which we're going to be using twice. Okay. Here's this. Now I'll just copy and paste. I'll add a text input, I guess. Now I'll copy and paste this. So we've got almost finished and space to upload the others. Just save a few seconds here. And then this was the first one. Now I would add instructions here. I don't know. instruction says. Okay. Oops. All right, and that's it for number 19. Now number 20. Okay. Wow. Honestly, it took a little bit longer than I anticipated that it would, but it would be so much faster the second time through because you would not have to recreate the wheel on all these. And then I'll just leave a couple of the questions that I ask students that if you want to, you can make much more beautiful than they are in mine. So what I do is after the input, again I add here. Okay, what's new, check in, how are you feeling, stress level, energy level, agree, disagree. Okay, there's a look at once. Okay, what did you think of today's lesson? You could do this. Oh, sure, I'll put this one on there just because it's the one I have here. I normally have students, or what I was doing for a while was having students say 1 through 10, how much did you enjoy the class? But it's kind of a little bit more visually appealing, I guess. Oh, shoot, sorry team. That doesn't make any sense there. It goes at the very end. What I put here is a, how much did you understand? I don't know where that question is, so I'll just create it. And then multiple choice. You know, do whatever. Less than 80%, you go down to 70, whatever you all want, or don't use this at all. I've just found it to be helpful because it encourages the students to self-reflect, and then you could ask them to explain their answer or not. The other pieces that I have here, again, you just feel free to delete them. I've just found them to be helpful. Did you complete this form on your own? Just remind students, please don't use Google Translator. And this is anything you'd like to share with me. We've already got that question. And then I don't have the homework question right here. Yeah, there we go. When is the next homework assignment due? Delete that or do whatever you'd like, but I'm just showing you again. You can bounce back and forth and grab those questions at will. All right. I hope this is helpful and that you all find that this helps and that helps other teachers. So I should say that the last thing is you can't do anything, you can't assign an activity until you've clicked on publish. So now it's publishing it. I'll share this activity with you in a moment, but actually it's probably worth me showing you how to go through and edit it. Well, first, assign to your classes if you want to do that. But the way you'll edit this, well, when you get the link, it'll say make a copy and edit. Then you'll click on it, edit it, and you can switch around. It'll take us to the screen that we were just in, the screen here. Now, I want to show you how on your end you can make another copy of it. For example, let's say you want to delete some slides and make it into the short version. Sorry, my laptop's going really slowly. Oh, there we go. This is not representative of my experience with Desmos, unless I'm using Loom. So I just made a copy of it, copy and edit. Now it says copy here, and let's just say we want to call this one short version. I'm creating this. Should have said this at the beginning of the call of the recording, that I created this for the folks that are working on creating Google, that are going through and they are actually creating all of the materials or all of the visual materials that are being used in Stepping Stones, Elena and Chris. So yeah, I should have mentioned that up front. But let's keep going. If you wanted, for example, to delete, maybe you don't want to say, what's the weather like? Just click delete there, delete the screen. That simple. And let's say we want to go and get rid of this. What do you think? Okay, that one's all right, but I don't really want to ask when the next homework assignment is due. Delete. And then it's gone. Now, same thing when you want to, next time we go and create you go to create a lesson, you already have your template, right? And then all you have to do is you would need to change out the reading. And of course, you would end up deleting one of these because you don't want both. But you all get the point. And this one, you might not have to change anything. Then you would delete these. How much did you understand? You would keep that. Maybe you should keep the true false, or you've copied and pasted true truths and a lie from another place. Okay, team. I hope that was helpful. And I know it was a long video. If you're still with me, awesome. All right, adios.